It's too much.
Didn't you say a song a week this year?
We're not talking about our goals.
We're against We're crazy. We're against resolutions.
Yeah, so my resolutions are...
Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about our resolutions this week.
I did say I was going to cut my my reading intake down this year. I was going to... My goal was 40 last year, and I hit it barely.
Jeez.
And I was like, I'm going to cut it back because I want to work on some other stuff. And then I set it for 40 again.
That's a toxic mindset right there.
No, my friend said his for 50, and I was like, what?
50?
Yes.
Who did that?
Andrew.
Holy crap. How much
Does
did
he do anything else?
Yeah.
He's a teacher?
Yeah. He's a teacher. I think he did 40 this year. Maybe 42
insane.
or something like that. But he doesn't put like all the tiny books on there that he reads for school.
He doesn't? Are you
No.
sure?
He puts if they're like chapter books that he reads to his class, he puts them on there, but he doesn't do like the small ones.
Are there like that good in quality books out there to read?
She's like,
I didn't know how to structure that
she's like-
sentence. I got stuck for a second.
Is there 50 books in the world that are worth reading?
that are worth reading a year?
Are there like good books to read out there? Can you read books out there?
I can think of
got
3 books that are
stuck
worth
about
reading.
a quarter of the way in and I couldn't see
So
my
what are
way
you
out.
trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Are there that? Are there enough? 50 books is a lot. Is there enough that have? Is he doing only like new release books? It's just like any book.
Any book, really.
Okay, I'm thinking like
you're
newer
thinking-
books that are
okay.
like newer the last couple of years, and he's like got to pick 50 of them.
Wow.
There's not a lot of. What's wrong?
Last year
There's not
he
a
read
lot
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
quality.
Classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to read Dracula this year. I really want, Dracula's on my list. I'm trying to think of like really old books. The Bible. I'm
Tag him, and I was gonna be like, no,
Holy
I'm
like
gonna
that.
read 66 books this year.
I've read the Bible every year for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've been trying to.
Whoa,
I
dude.
read
It's like I work in a church or something,
Okay.
right?
It's literally our jobs.
I've been trying to read a different version every year, though. So I started
nice.
with like,
Okay.
I think I did ESV
That one's tough.
a couple years ago. I did CSB last year.
Nice.
This year I'm doing NIV,
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm not a huge fan of the NIV in general. It's like it's an all right translation, but it's not what I would prefer to read all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hit him with the King James.
There was
I
a
will
guy-
not do King James. I have very strong feelings about the King James.
I think most
we
people
don't have
do.
to get
Touchy.
into it.
Most people should. You either are very strongly for the King James Bible version of the Bible,
Yeah.
or very strongly
Or against.
against.
Yeah.
The new King James I'm fine with. I can get down with the new King James.
Right.
I can't do old King James.
Did you hit your cup with your? Oh, that's really scared me. I told you I've been so like jumpy.
How much coffee have you
Like,
had today?
Really, not a lot.
Oh.
Just kind of skittish right now.
Yeah, like the last. I would say I've noticed it like the last 6 to 8 months. I've just like everything makes me like jump.
Don't be so scared.
Please do not abuse that.
Boom! It's right now.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to read. I'm not going to say my goal,
Dracula.
but I want to read more books
Yeah.
than I did last year. I didn't meet my goal last year.
How many did you read last year?
I didn't want to talk about it. But I will.
I can look it up real quick.
More than
I can see it on Goodreads. So my goal was 24.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Or 25. It
2
may
a
have been
month.
25.
Yeah.
Or it was 2 a month was the idea, right?
Right.
So maybe 24, 25. I can't remember if I pushed it. But I only did 17. Which
Not bad.
17's better than 0.
is better than 0. The year before, I read 1 book
Yeah.
for the year.
You know how many books
The-
Liz read last year?
66.
Hallelujah.
She's read
The
5
word.
minutes.
I think I read like 2.
I read 1 word, his word.
Amen.
Amen. And so, yeah, so
And a women.
no, not
Period.
again, not again. Yeah, so I read 17 books, and I'm proud of myself for more than 1 book
That's
last year.
the growth, the whatever percentage growth that is. That's a lot.
It's a lot of percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, growth.
That's 170%.
Yeah,
There you go.
16 more books, right? Oh, I guess
1 minus 17.
1,700%.
No
'cause
way.
it's the same.
Because it was
amount
1.
plus.
Or like if you read
16.
1 book 1 year and then you read 2 books next year, that's a 200 or a 100% increase, right?
Okay.
Is it? Yeah.
You read 200%
Yeah,
of the books you read last year. And so then if you went
Oh,
up 17%, 1,700% increase. That's a lot. You
Welcome
did
to
good.
math to think about. thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maths to think about.
Maths. Oh, no.
Maths.
We're not British here on this podcast.
That's
No
pretty good
Brits
read.
allowed.
That's like the only word I say. So, in a British accent.
In Britain. That's all.
British.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how many. I think I'm proud just to throw the goal out there. Not
You
to
don't
make
have to tell
this
everybody.
Listen.
You don't have to tell everybody.
We're nothing but transparent.
Yeah. Nothing but transparent. What do you mean by that? Like honest? Like we're just gonna be like real with one another?
Yes.
Well, because
wanna
I've
be
been
really
lying.
vulnerable
I've been faking
to
this
one
whole time. The whole podcast. I can just be
That's
honest.
not your real hair. It's a wig.
This is a wig. Could you imagine?
I would be devastated and disgusted.
And disgusted.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 24 again.
Nice. Yeah.
24 books in 2024. But so we'll see if I can handle it. I also read. This is another thing that I'm like not embarrassed by, but like disappointed by. Is that I read a lot of small books last year. You
Okay.
know? And so like I should have been able to do more books. But I was telling.
Didn't
Listen,
you have like a child last
You had
year?
like a 200%
two?
growth in children.
Yeah, in
In
children.
offspring.
Quick math.
Good math. Good math. Yeah,
I learned.
I did have some kids last year. I am a father now. Don't know if you heard.
I just told you. We
hadn't
told you
heard.
you were a
Just
father.
making sure.
Have
So,
you heard?
Have you heard the word?
Bird.
Bird
Okay.
The word.
is the word.
Anyway,
So yeah. So yeah, I read small books last year. Want to read more because I did mostly like spiritual books or like business books or like I don't want to call them self-help books, but that's kind of the vibe you know
Right,
they
right,
give
right.
of like,
Motivational.
motivational type books. Yeah, and so that's because I just like that kind of stuff. And so I didn't read any fiction really. I think I read Jurassic Park. That may have been the only
it's a
fiction
banger.
book. It's really good. This book is really, really good.
I forget that like Jaws, Jurassic Park, all those
Do
are.
not read Jaws. We talked
Oh
about
no,
that.
I already
not
know.
read Jaws.
I already know, but I forget that they are also books.
A lot of like really good movies
Yeah.
are like most really
Right.
good movies are books.
Like
you know?
Twilight.
Like like Twilight. That was my example. That's what I was thinking of.
I know.
So-
I read your mind. I
yeah,
got
right,
it.
exactly. We're transparent here.
So, what book would you recommend from your list?
Last year, Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, definitely. That's
Yeah.
a definite recommendation. It's
a great one.
So Jurassic Park was really good. There was a book. I'm thinking of a certain book that I can't think of the name, and so I'm not gonna be able to.
Is it
remember
on your Goodreads?
It is on my Goodreads. So yeah, you can pull it up. There is a book called Everybody Always that I actually just got for King's Day that I did already read, but it's okay because it's a really good book. It's by Bob Goff, and it's about loving people like who are difficult
Yeah.
or like in hard situations. And so I read it to help me on the podcast, just to care for my co-hosts a little better. And so just because they're difficult.
For troubled youths.
No, but it is really good. So the idea is like love everybody always, and so
Yeah.
just like being more like Jesus. There were a couple times in that book I was like
Dang.
wanting to lose it. Now I have kids now, and things just like make me want to cry more, and it's annoying.
Oh.
It just happens. But it was like, dude, these are hitting me right now. You know, it was like
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
stuff. And so like
Yeah.
the cover is a picture. I'll just share this one part. He started he's a lawyer, and so but he's done a bunch of different things, and so he's involved in this organization that's helping kiddos in Uganda and Rwanda and several different like African countries who are like victims of like child trafficking
Yeah.
and just these super heavy things, right? And so he's like involved in all that kind of stuff, and he's involved in all that kind of stuff, like trying to help bring these kids out of those situations, and as a lawyer is kind of involved in helping the witch doctors who are involved in taking some of these kids,
Dang.
like bringing them justice and taking them like to prison and doing all this stuff, because it just doesn't happen that often in these places. And so, but it's really cool because he's like talking about like, man, just how heavy and how like angry that makes him, just the whole situation. And then like getting to know these witch doctors who are in prison, and there's this one guy who like comes to know Jesus, and it's like, dude, like this is beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Like just how like his life has changed. And so on the cover of the book, I'll show a picture. The cover of the book, it's like it says everybody always, and there's a bunch of like thumbprints on it, like fingerprints all over it, just in different colors. And the thumbprints are from these reformed witch doctors.
Oh wow.
That's what the cover is. And so it's just like, and it's like kind of like towards the end of the book, and it just like, I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. It was like such a hugely powerful like point in the book of like, Jesus loves these people and like they're doing terrible things, but like that's what he calls you to. And I was like, dang, this is so good.
Yeah.
And so I read a couple of other of his books. He has a few more that I didn't like as much, but that one like was really, really good. The book I was thinking of was a book called Just Do Something by Kevin DeYoung.
I've read that one before, but I read it again this year. Or last year.
Oh.
Cool.
2023?
23.
Okay, you read a book.
I said two.
Okay. I'm sorry. 66.
That and
66
the
books
Bible.
and the Word.
Good Lord.
Good book though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good book.
I like it.
Yeah, what was your takeaway from Just Do Something?
I feel like I read it early in 23. And so I don't retain a lot. It was a very long time ago.
That was a year ago.
Blew my mind. But I already tend to lean more on a practical side. Like just like my outlook and just kind of how I do things, how I do life. But that was very motivating I think it's the same mindset of like, if I decide I'm going to do something,
right?
Like stop procrastinating, stop waiting. And like, it reminded me a lot of, there's a saying that one of our mentors when I was in ministry school in Arkansas would always say, how big is your want to? Mm-hmm. And you know, if you want to do something, stop saying like, I want to do it. If your want to is really big, then you're gonna do it. It's such a country saying. He's like, how big is your want to?
Right.
But if you don't say you want to do something when you have no intention of following through. So it was good. I always enjoy like short reads that are just like straight to the point.
It's a super short read. If you're looking for a book, I've been doing a lot of Libby reading, which is an app to like you connect your public library card and you
I just found out about
books or audiobooks. Super useful. That book's like 2 hours, I think, from the audiobook. So if you want to read this year and you want to do something with your life this year, person, you check it out. Just do something.
Just do something.
Yeah.
What was your like standout read of the year?
One of them was it's called Up From Slavery it's the autobiography of Booker T. Washington.
Oh, cool.
It was very interesting. He his life was really, really interesting because like he was liberated from slavery after the Civil War when he was like 13 maybe. I can't remember the exact age, but he was like a kid still. Yeah. So he's got this transition from being a person that's owned by another person to being independent and like making something of his life and becoming like a leader for the Black community in America. And so it was just really interesting. And he's like a believer, and he started this like basically a school / like working farm where like young Black people could come and be educated and work and like make something of their life post slavery. So it was really, really cool.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. It's just like an inspirational story, like reading his life. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Biographies are super cool because you learn like the little things about people that like you hear the big things, but like sometimes the little things are more impactful than like that you don't hear about. It's kind of cool.
There's one so I just was introduced to Libby this past Thanksgiving because of your wives. And I really want to read, whether physical read or audio.
But how big is your want to?
But how big is my want to?
Perfect.
I don't want to buy the book, so not that big.
Right. Yeah. I was literally talking to my friends today, and they were like, "Are you even close to getting this book?" And I went and checked, and I'm like, "I'm 174th in line, waiting for 20 copies." And they were like, "That's forever." It was like estimated like a 4-month wait. And they're like, "Just buy the book," and I'm like, "Why don't you just buy it for me?"
How big is it? Your what to for me?
I've got plenty of books to read in the meantime. I don't need it right now.
Well, I really want to get my hands on Britney Spears's biography or autobiography.
I guess it's autobiography. Did she write it?
What?
And
yes.
Autobiography means you write it about yourself.
Right.
Okay, then yes, autobiography. Just because there's like the nostalgia of Britney Spears is like music in her life, but also there's just a lot of like little nuances about her life that I've kind of heard about that I don't want to like hear from other people's take. I want to read the book myself. So I think that one's gonna be super interesting.
Yeah. I also read Jeanette McCurdy's.
Yeah.
I heard that one's good.
Is she the one from iCarly?
She's the girl from iCarly.
Okay, yeah.
She hates that kind of a little bit. Looks like she hates being recognized in person.
Is she the not Miranda Cosgrove?
Exactly.
Okay.
Precisely.
And point made right there.
Her book is very good. That's another book that was like hit hard.
Was it
like,
called I'm Glad My Mom Died?
It's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. Yep. It's intense, right? And the title gets it. And it's really, really good. Some of it's hard to read. Some of it's, I actually did the audiobook on that one also. Yeah. Which I still have like hangups on of whether or not that's really reading. Like I don't know.
I would say most avid readers would say that audiobooks count as reading. I mean, pretty much anybody I talk to is like, audiobooks count.
I mean, it's consuming content in a certain way that's, it's written in, I don't know, but it was cool because she narrated her own audiobook. And a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are doing that now, which I appreciate. And so like,
I'm going to narrate my own autobiographies.
Okay.
Please.
Multiple autobiographies. Dang.
Yeah, one every decade of my life.
Oh my
so I'm 3 behind right now.
I got things to update on. And so anyway, so her book was really, really good. A hard read. Not like a kid-friendly book, so don't read it to your kids at night. But very good if you want to learn about her life.
Okay, sons, this one's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. Go ahead and grab your blankies and your bottles. Jeez.
Listen up.
I'm like halfway through it. So I'm restructuring all the Bible curriculum for where I work. And so I want to read these books before I have our kids read them.
That's good.
The Bible?
Yes, but also there's one for our older camp. It's called Winning the War of Your Mind, but for teenagers. And so there's questions in there that are directed for them, some of the examples and all that stuff. But highly, highly recommend it if you're like a young adult or a teenager, because like as I'm reading it, the content of it is just good. And so me reading it, kind of more a teen focused book, like it's still really good content. So I'm enjoying it as an adult. And so I'm hoping, they'll get a lot out of it, but that's a big rec for me. If you've got a teen or a young adult in your life.
Winning the War in Your Mind.
Yes.
Who wrote it? Do you know?
Can't remember. I think it's Craig Groeschel.
Oh, I saw him in at a conference one time.
Yeah, he also has another book that
he's jacked. He's a buff dude.
Life.church. That's his church in
there's one.
Oh, is it?
Oklahoma. Yeah. They're the guys that did the YouVersion Bible app.
Right.
They're the ones that created that.
There's a book he wrote a while back called Christian Atheist.
Oh yeah.
That's a really good one too. It's a really good
Craig Groeschel. Yeah, that's right.
This is just such a helpful podcast episode. There are just so many good little nuggets. I hope you're enjoying this. This is good stuff.
Would you like to continue the helpfulness?
Yeah, yes. I would love to continue the helpfulness.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this thing called the Doomsday Vault.
Oh, the Doomsday Vault?
Yeah, the Doomsday Vault.
Doomsday Vault.
I heard that too, yeah.
For when you die.
For when you don't want to die.
Okay. So it is called the Doomsday Vault. Okay. And it's like multiple countries are in on this. So the U.S.
What?
Like everyone has partnered, everyone has contributed, everyone is a part of this.
When you said this, I thought this was a theoretical thing.
No, this is real. Oh, no. It is called the Doomsday Vault. So it's in Norway.
Norway?
So Norway.
Norway. It just clicked.
I love it. Clicked at different times.
Also, I think I sent it to you. I saw TikTok. It's like, if Taylor Swift doesn't come to Australia and sing "You Should Have Said No," then that is a missed opportunity. Because like, should have said no. You should have gone home.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. So the Ministry of Agriculture and Food in Norway. They're kind of heading this up, but there's several countries that are a part of this. So the whole premise of the Doomsday Vault is if, the world falls apart, there's, mass.
There's a place to go.
So not really, but this you're kind of on your own for that.
Oh.
But the Doomsday Vault holds like seeds and like embryos and or like for these animals and so it's like all these things to agriculture and food. So it's
to jumpstart the world back.
What is that called? It's like where they do. There's like I think there's like a spaceship that somebody built too. Like if things.
Like in the
really
Martian?
go bad, and then they're just gonna, exactly. They're just gonna send the spaceship out and
nutty.
Crazy. I read a trilogy this year or last year, 2023, about basically this whole scenario.
Is that Project Hail Mary?
Or
No, it's Wayward Pines.
Oh, that's that.
Wayward Pines. It's a trilogy.
Yeah,
and it's about shoot, that kind of ruined it. You don't find out until like the end of the first book
that's what it's about.
It's like,
oh, cool.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
Well,
sorry.
Spoiler alert from the past.
I think it's like 20 years old though. So
is it really?
I don't know.
Oh, geez.
Just erase that part of your mind. Go back and read it.
We'll edit it, maybe.
So there are over 40,000.
Beep.
There are over 40,000 types of seed samples that are in this vault. Top contributors are Latvia, Morocco, Taiwan, USA, Netherlands, Israel, Poland, Zambia, and Italy. But there's other countries that they've signed in to like be a part of this. I think it's just so like, it feels so dystopian that this is a real thing.
Yeah.
But it had me think like top 3 things that would be in your personal Doomsday Vault.
Doomsday Vault.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. You've had time to think about this.
Yeah, the drive here.
The drive here.
So coffee beans.
Oh,
for sure. That would be in there.
You know how to grow coffee? Just beans to just.
Just got one cup.
I just got one cup. That's all I got.
I'm saving this for my last day.
This is it.
You got one?
I gotta.
You said just beans?
Do you like roasted
Would you
beans?
not grow them?
If you roast the beans, I don't think you can grow.
Did
from
I
them.
say roasted?
She didn't
I
say
do
roasted.
coffee beans.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he said to grow, and you said no.
I didn't say that.
Did she not say
I don't
no?
think she said
no.
Rewind.
Should have said no.
Back it up, Terry. What did it? So no, just coffee beans to grow more.
Do you plant the beans?
I think. I mean, you'd have to, right?
Can an agriculture person explain this to me? I guess you would just plant the beans and you grow them. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So coffee beans. What else?
Coffee beans. I would want to put something. I haven't decided the material, but I think like rubber or silicone or something that like is of high value that I could barter.
Okay, interesting.
And then
how much of this stuff do you get?
I get a whole vault, but like only a section of it because I get 3 things.
But like you're saying, you want rubber or silicone
to trade.
But like, how much of that do you get to bring? Do you get like a pop socket's worth or
a pop socket's worth?
No, pop socket. I meant the fidget thing. The pop.
A poppet.
What are those called? I can't remember what those things are called anymore. Yeah. Yes. What are those called now?
A fidget popper? I don't know.
They had a name.
There is a name.
Already out of my mind. That was only like 2 years ago. Did those exist?
Yeah, they existed. Yeah. We were all there. It's just a fidget toy, right? I don't know.
It's not a poppet. Is it?
What's a poppet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
There's pictures, but there's no
Poppet fidget toys.
See, there you go. Poppet fidget toy.
Know.
Boom. I nailed it.
No, that's not it.
So you have that much rubber to barter?
Yeah. How much do you get?
I'm thinking like a storage tub.
Like a big tub?
Yeah.
Tub
Yeah.
Full of
so
rubber.
coffee beans, like rubber or something. And then personal, a pillow. But like because I'm real specific on like
the comfort
pillow.
of your pillow.
Yeah. That's just for me.
Hey, respect.
Listen, if the world's falling apart, I gotta make sure I get my
I gotta
hours.
get the right pillow. Okay.
Yeah.
I need my pillow.
With a satin pillowcase.
See, I guess that's a good point. Like, how messed up is my home? Like, am I assuming that I have nothing but what's in the vault?
That's you're kind of using that to like
You're naked.
jumpstart.
I have the clothes on my back.
Nope.
No.
Unless you put them in a vault.
No.
You got clothes. You got clothes.
Okay.
Chill out.
I'll just wear like a sheet.
In
I'll
my
take
pockets,
a
though,
sheet.
I also
Yeah.
some secret stuff.
It's a backpack.
What is it
full
that
of
Dwight
things.
says? The like physicians,
physician's
hollowed
desk.
out.
Yeah.
So mine would probably be 3 things.
Yeah.
There's no power. Is there power in the world still?
Oh my gosh.
You know? Can I
Are
use
there other
technologies?
humans? Am I
Like,
the only
there's-
human?
No. These are in. Oh, I didn't think I'd have to like.
How did you not think you would get
Okay,
this far?
this vault. Everyone has their space in the vault. Okay, so these
That's
are
a
your
lot
things
of people. A lot of
that
space.
your
Big vault.
big vault guy, huh?
Big vault guy. Huh?
So everyone has their things. You can contribute, you can share, you can collaborate, but these are the things that you're bringing to the table. Let's say there is no power.
Okay. All right, I got my
Currently.
3. You ready?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What?
It's a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Because then you got to entertain all the people.
It's a guitar.
Make it a liar.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, a guitar,
A
Some-
stringed instrument.
some strings.
Some fresh strings is your second choice.
Hey, I assume I don't know how
Listen,
much I
straight
got here.
dedication to the game.
I don't know how
here.
much I got
Check
here.
out Heights Music.
He's like, I'm about to have a monopoly on the music world.
Hey! Audio interface, a Scarlett 2i2. I got my MacBook.
There's no power.
I know. I'm gonna do guitar, strings if I need to add strings, and a notebook.
So you can remember the Beatles songs.
Exactly, and then I'll
Wow,
be famous.
there it is. Okay. Jeez. That's thinking that everyone's
got a-
memories have been wiped.
He's got a notebook, but he didn't bring a pen.
No, I thought this through. I figure I would have an easier time finding something to write with in the notebook than stringing the guitar with
get a
some
little,
Just like
one of those
pricking his
chalky
finger.
rocks.
It's like, this one's called Let It Be.
This is just smudge. This is nothing here. Yeah, that's
right,
good.
Reed.
Read what you got.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you're gonna laugh about this. I'm gonna bring a whole storage crate container. You were saying storage container full, right? Just thumb drives full of each one of them has a copy of all of Wikipedia.
Oh,
on
okay.
it. Yeah, a lot of copies. I'm gonna distribute them so that information spreads. And I know there's no power, but that gives us a goal. Is we need to recreate power so that we can access
Right.
the information.
But how do you? Oh, so there's no way to access it until
Not
you
yet.
recreate
That's
the
future.
power.
That's future information.
Wow.
To save it for later.
Wow.
Yeah. It's important.
Or search for the technology to get there.
Right. But this
Maybe
is just a
find it.
backup.
Yeah.
Someone else's problem.
Somebody else is probably bringing it. I mean,
helped
she's
with
bringing
this
coffee beans. So
Beans.
I got you. I'm not sharing.
Single bean.
yeah, sharing the beans.
Dang.
Not with
All
this guy.
What else, Reed?
Speaking of that, a gun.
That's a good idea.
Speaking of that, God,
Do you have bullets?
You can have a bean.
yeah.
Put a bean in there.
Well,
and shoot beans.
it'll come with a full clip.
That's it. That's all you got. Okay.
No. That's all one piece. A gun with a clip.
Okay.
Look,
What's your?
My pet dog,
Which one?
Baron. Sorry, I
Reed, you
love
got 2
Richie, but
dogs.
Oh no.
I'm bringing Baron, and Aubrey can bring Richie.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay.
That's
All
her,
right, that's
that's
fair.
her choice.
That's
You're
fair.
not even gonna have your wedding photos or the
Those are
video
all on
on a thumb
Wikipedia.
drive. I uploaded them beforehand.
Reed's got thumb drives, a gun, and his dog.
I have a mission. And a mission.
I have a plan. I'm just here to entertain.
I got
That's all I
thumb
got.
drive.
That's it.
Thumb
That's all I
drive,
got.
a
just trying
gun,
to get
a
some
dog,
sleep.
and a plan.
Yeah, girl got her pillow.
She brought a pillow. And, well, she wants to sleep unless she's drinking the coffee. Then she doesn't
Oh,
want
that's
to
a good
sleep.
point.
Yeah, but you know how many people are gonna be jonesing for their coffee?
I feel like more people are going to want to trade for your coffee than are going to want to trade for your a silicone or whatever you're
it's
trading for.
all the rubber.
Yeah, whatever that is. I bet it's coffee. You're just gonna have.
There you go.
That's your mattress to sleep on.
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
rubber. Let us know
I'll
what
take it.
your 3 things are to choose for your Doomsday Vault. What are you gonna add to society at the end of the world? Let us know.
Maybe you'll bring a book.
Maybe your loved one. I didn't even think. Could I bring a person? Could a person be?
Nah.